twice. SVP for a third. Into the cover to make history.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest, and
acknowledge us.
Hey guys, we're here at Red Carpet Rain. We're going to talk about WWE NXT Roadblock 2025. Stephanie Vaquer makes history as becoming a double champion. We're going to talk about the show here of Roadblock. We'll also talk more about the grade and everything. We'll talk about current news, and then we'll also discuss the bonus round. What's happened next when Stephanie Vaquer as the double champion? What's the next step for her? To the lights as we come to the ring, talk about it. Let's look over the match card, shall we? All right, this is the match card here. We got plenty of stuff on the match card. We have, 3 championship matches. We have a tag team match for the TNA tag team titles. Hardy Boyz versus Fraxiom. We got 1-on-1 Jordynne Grace versus Roxanne Perez. We have New York Street Fight of Ethan Page versus Javon Evans. We also have the NXT Championship match of Oba Femi defending championship against Moose, the TNA X Division champion. Only the NXT title defended. In the main event, we have the title versus titles, Giulia, NXT Women's Champion versus Stephanie Vaquer, who's the Women's North American Champion. But let's get into it, though. All right, first match on the card, Fraxiom versus the Hardy Boyz for the TNA Tag Team titles. And I have to say, these guys definitely started off with a very, very good bang there. They did their thing. Both teams have momentum. Fraxiom has some good moments in the match with the high flying, suicide dives, and everything. I know. I also like how the Spanish fly that Axiom does. That's smooth. We have that. Also have Nathan Frazier, who also was on a roll too. Then Matt Hardy with a side effect at ringside. Hardy Boyz still look good, but the experience is the best teacher, they say. Jeff Hardy got the high-low finisher. He countered the high-low finisher that Fraxiom does. He had a swanton bomb on Nathan Frazier, and he got the pinfall for the TNA Tag Team Champions to retain their titles. Congratulations to Fraxiom. All right, next match we have Roxanne Perez versus Jordynne Grace. This is a rematch, from their first match. So we knew these two was going to face off again after Roxanne attacked Jordynne Grace last week. We also have here that both women are willing to do whatever it can to get the job done. So we have Roxanne. She worked on Jordynne Grace's leg. She did a good job working on her leg. Jordynne Grace came back, being dominant that she is. She put in that work, and it's solid. So both these women put in the work, but Jordynne Grace caught Roxanne Perez at the end of the day. She got the finisher over Roxanne Perez, and it seemed like Roxanne more likely is going to go to the main roster officially. I don't think there's any more feuds for her on NXT unless she do something with Cora Jade, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that would go. But we will have to see how that's going to work out. Definitely got to check that out, though. But yeah, I would like to see what else more. I think that's it for Roxanne Perez. That's it for that matter. So let's go to the next match. All right, let's move on to the next match on the card for NXT Roadblock. All right, next match on the card for Roadblock, we have NXT Championship match. We got ourselves Oba Femi versus Moose. Man, both of these men, they brought it tonight. They brought it. Oba brought it, and man, Moose brought it. They both put out their best work. I like how Moose, he choke slammed Oba Femi on the announce table. However, when he tried to do a springboard cut off the suplex off the rope, top rope, Oba Femi reversed it. So that was good. I like how he did that. It was some good moves for both of these guys. They definitely was not playing around for that matter. I know Undertaker gave Oba Femi a pep talk before he got in the ring. The crowd was really into both of them, you know. But I like how Oba Femi got a suplex after, like I said, countering Moose's suplex. And then we got the fall from Grace powerbomb. He got Moose once, kicked out. Moose got him over with a spear. He kicked out, but Oba, he got another fall from Grace, and that's gained a pinfall victory and retained the NXT Championship. So Oba Femi, he definitely can roll with the best. Him and Moose had another great match, and I would love to see another match between these two. So I got to give them their props on that one. Great work from both men.
Yeet.
Yeet. Exactly, that is. But let's look on to another match, another good match. Oh, another favorite match of mine. We got Javon Evans versus Ethan Page. Both of these men definitely, they shine. This was a great story. I like how Ethan Page gained advantage early on. He tried to get Javon with the jaw that he attacked. That started the feud. And also he had a lot of weapons he used. He tried to get a 3 count, but Javon kicked out. Then he started getting hot with a comeback, and he was bouncy. And that champ was going, this is awesome. And I like how he also did a springboard cut in the ring from the ring to the table outside. He has great footwork and great timing. And then he finally got Ethan Page. He wrapped a chair around his neck and hit another springboard cutter. That was it. Now I like how too he almost got him saying, you want to know the real me. Just great storytelling. If you guys remember this match.
Springboard cutter through the chair.
So great match by Javon and Ethan. They definitely that's one of the best matches, if not one of the most underrated match of the night. So great work by both of them. But let's move on to the main event. We got Stephanie Vaquer and champion versus champion, her versus Giulia, the NXT Women's Champion, the Women's North American Champion, going one-on-one, defending, fighting it all out. Now we saw Giulia. She did Stephanie's move, wrapping and put her neck around her legs. Same move Stephanie does. She tried to tap Stephanie out. She had to Riverdurci. Stephanie kicked out. Now Stephanie, the SVR, I believe, she got her twice. I know it took 3 of those to get her. And it was just, the crowd was crazy. But we got ourselves a brand new champion. Congratulations, Stephanie. You guys check out that match. Great match.
Twice, SVP for a third. Into the cover to make history.
And yes, she did indeed make history. We got ourselves a brand new champion. Confetti in the ring. Giulia, I know she was down. She was not so happy about that. We'll talk more about that. Man, Giulia run ends at what? Not barely 2 months. Barely 2 months that match ends, but I mean her run is over. We got a new champion, Stephanie Vaquer. We're gonna see how she does as champion, guys. Other than that, though, brand new champion Stephanie. We'll talk more about it. But we gotta go over the rating of NXT Roadblock. Let's see. We had a lot of good matches here. They did not disappoint us, not one bit tonight. When it comes to NXT, I love the work that they all put in. Of course, but if I had to guess, It's clearly evident that this was banger after banger. I gotta give it a 5 out of 5. Both of these, all of these matches, all the titles, they definitely put in the work. Everybody played their part. Everybody, all great stories were told on NXT Roadblock. I would say the best roadblock ever of all time. We've seen some roadblocks, but not as stacked as this. And then, of course, we had the legends come out, the LFG show, Legend Future Great, Undertaker, Booker T, Mickey James, Bubba Ray. We all saw them in certain parts of the show, before the show, backstage, and after the show as well. So we definitely got to give credit where credit's due. Everybody put in their work. Everybody chipped in to make sure it was a great show for everybody. So we got to give much credit there. And I love the work that they put in for each other. Everybody worked together. Everybody did their part. So salute to everybody on the team, for wrestlers, the writing team, producing team, everything, you name it. So greatly appreciated for them putting out a great show. You know, they definitely kicking off the road to NXT Stand and Deliver. So they definitely doing that, no doubt about it. But they put on some great stuff. But you guys let me know, what do you think of NXT Roadblock? What do you think of the show? What you think it was great, average, mediocre? But let's see what people are saying about NXT Roadblock. Let's see what people are saying. We got 87% gave it an A, 8% gave it a B, C gave it 4%, D or F gave it 2%. Yeah, this is very, very good though. Other than that though, we are going to go over what went wrong with NXT. Great show, but we gotta see what went wrong. First thing went wrong. This faction needs a new name. It needs a name. Needs a name. Now they came out and tagged Javon Evans after his victory over Ethan Page in the street fight. Now every time we see these guys, they mention some of the guys' names in the group, but they don't have an official name. And I like this group to properly introduce themselves to the NXT universe. You know, to everybody see who they are, so we'd be more familiar with them. You know, they got the whole Shield, Nexus, NWO kind of thing going on. Retribution, a little bit mix of everything. I'd like to see what's going on, because I do not like that.
You know what's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So that made the list on that. However, see what else I didn't like about this show. All right, now that I didn't like Giulia losing the NXT Women's Championship. And it's reportedly, which I will talk about, she is reportedly been working through an injury, and it required her to take some time off. That's why she lost the belt. We'll talk more about that. Of course, that sucks. That doesn't work for me, brother.
You know what's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So yeah, not good. But other than that, though, that was what went wrong. But we got to talk about what went right with the show as well. Now let's go what went right with the show. As a whole, I said it before, I say it again. Matches as a whole were superb. Great storytelling of all matches. From the beginning with the TNA Tag Team Championship to the end with the NXT Women's Championship and the NXT Women's North American Championship being defended, making history, everything. So that is a plus in my book.
Yeet.
All right. So, another thing. I talked about this earlier. We'll talk about it again. Another thing I did like about this particular show, I would say this match here, particular match I highlighted, this was the best underrated match that was without a title on the line. And we're talking about Javon Evans versus Ethan Page. These men definitely put in work, and well deservedly. I love the story from when Ethan Page was on a downslide after losing NXT Championship. He got to find his smile again. Thought he lost his smile. Javon told him give some encouragement. He said, "I'll steal yours." He busted Javon's jaw. Had to get Wyatt shut. Had a great match the first go around. Ethan won the first one. Javon won the second one. But great work. Great storytelling about this match by both of these men. Great work.
Yeet.
So I like how this been. I will say let's talk more about what's been going on. Now that was actually everything for what went wrong and what went right. We're gonna talk more about current news now. Let's talk about that. Current news. We gotta talk about Shinsuke. Now it says here there's been reports that he may be leaving WWE. He may be out. He may leave. It's just a rumor going around. Now you know that he lost the United States Championship to LA Knight on SmackDown. But other than that, they said that he may leave the company. There's been reports that he may leave once his contract is up with WWE. That has been floating around about his contract. It says it here when this rumor first went around that his career is winding down with WWE. Shinsuke's what 45 this year, and they saying that he may not resign. Says, would you like to see Nakamura sign a new deal? Or it's like to see go anywhere else like AEW? But they're saying it's 100% false. They said it's not true. I don't know because Shinsuke, great talent, but what else can he do in his career? He's been a babyface. He's been a heel. He's been United States champion as a babyface. Recently United States champion as a heel before losing to LA Knight. What more can you do? Should Shinsuke move on to AEW or another promotion, or should he stick it out for his rest career WWE? You guys let me know. We got some more current news going on here. If you guys didn't know already, that's been buzzing around in the wrestling world that Miro and CJ, which is Rusev and Lana, they're reconciled after separation. It says after splitting up back in 2023, TMZ Sports is reporting that CJ Perry and Miro are back together and renewing their vows. Now they heard they started connecting back in last summer, and I know that also with that they was trying their best to work things out because they've been married since 16. Now also if you guys didn't know as well, I know that I think the connection here with these two that caused them to reconnect. Lana's grandfather passed away, and she said that Miro took her grandfather out to a beer just days before his passing. Miro was close to her grandfather. They had a good relationship, so that may have been connected to bring these two back together. Other than that, it's good to see these two are going to work it out. I actually like these two as a couple, but that's news I have on that. Meanwhile, we got to talk about shift gears. We got to talk about Stephanie Walker. We're going to talk about her as what's next for her as double champion, 2-belt Steph. So give me a couple minutes. Let's get that started. All right, we're going to talk about Stephanie Vaquer. We're going to talk about the brand new champion. We're going to talk about what's next for Stephanie Vaquer after she makes history. Now, we know she defeated Giulia to become a double champion, the first woman to hold both the Women's North American Championship and the NXT Women's Championship. And they definitely had a great match to show for these women putting that work. So definitely good for that. Congratulations, Stephanie. I know Stephanie was happy. This is her moment. But now think about this, we gotta talk about what's next for Stephanie as challenges go and what's next. Now reportedly, which sucks for Giulia. Giulia we know did not have a long run. It's been reports, like I stated, she is injured. She is injured. So she's been working through an injury for quite some time. So that's the thing about that. And what makes it worse is she worked through this whole injury. She never got a proper title run. And this is what people have been talking about on social media. Now this was happening even way before they announced their match of Giulia versus Stephanie for the belt. What I don't like about it is I don't know how long Giulia's going to be out reportedly for. Says here that I actually feel so bad for Giulia. She came in, won the belt, then proceeded to get injured and banged up, which obviously ruined the potential of the reign. Now you get people on here saying that she's a second thought. Now that Stephanie walked in, it sucks for her. So this is a setback for Giulia. Stephanie is the one who, we're happy for her win championship, but a setback for Giulia. I don't know what kind of injury she has, how long she'll be out for, what kind of, does she have to rehab your surgery? But she's been working with an injury for a while because, like I said, it sucks. She was good. She was really, part set up this whole new era of NXT. So we know that too. But unfortunately, when you're injured like that, you can't defend. You're gonna have to lose the championship. That's what set up this whole champion versus champion. Because we know Giulia was only champion for 63 days, not even not even 90 days. So 63 days is champ. Sucks, but that's how things go. But we'll see. We gotta move on to Stephanie. And we gotta see what's up for her until Giulia comes back. So get well, Giulia. But let's see what's gonna be next step for her. Now, Giulia, she holds 2 titles. What we gonna do, I'm gonna go over potential challenges for the Women's North American Championship and challenges for the Women's NXT Championship. We'll first go over the Women's North American Championship. Who are good challenges for her? We'll go down the list right now. First person that comes to mind, Jada Parker, Miss Parker. Now, Jada Parker said that whoever won between Giulia and Stephanie, she got next, as she says. But Jada, we know that she already challenged for the NXT Women's Championship last year at No Mercy when she lost against Roxanne Perez, who was the champion then. But we have not seen Jada Parker challenge for the Women's North American Championship. And I think this would be a good opportunity for her to jumpstart her, her career, get things going before she does potentially win the Women's NXT Championship in the near future. I think she would be a good pick. And I could even see her being the one to take the belt off of Stephanie Vaquer. I can see her being the next women's champion because we know when a women or anyone, most of the time when a champion holds 2 titles, they don't hold it for a long period of time. They more likely lose the secondary championship and keep the primary championship. Similar to Keith Lee, if you guys remember NXT Original Black and Gold, when he held the North American Championship and the NXT Championship, he vacated it, but Stephanie E could vacate it, or she just lose to a better contender for that belt that could be champion, and I can see Jada Parker being that. Next person I see in mind, Fallon Henley. Now, Fallon Henley, she is the previous Women's North American Champion. She's actually the person that Stephanie beat to become Women's North American Champion back at Vengeance Day. Stephanie held this belt now for almost a month, Women's North American Championship, that is. Remember, Fallon been going on saying she never got a proper rematch. She's been talking to Ava, complaining backstage. Maybe she does get a rematch, and maybe she could give it another shot of trying to regain the Women's North American Championship. I can see Fallon Henley being a great contender. Who knows? She may even regain the Women's North American Championship, being the first two-time Women's North American champion, defeating Stephanie. That could be a possibility. Now, we talked about women's North American champion challenges. We're going to move over to women's NXT challenges. The first person that comes to mind, Cora Jade. Now, Cora Jade's been getting a lot of buzz lately since she returns from her injury that she had in 2023. I will say that Cora Jade, she's been not so much on NXT, but she's been on TNA a lot. She's been challenging for the team. She's going to challenge for the TNA Knockout World Championship, and she challenged at TNA Sacrifice against Masha Slamovich. So we've been seeing a lot of Cora Jade on TNA lately, and she's a challenger for this title. And we've seen Masha Slamovich on NXT as well in the crowd, but she don't challenge for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. Now, if she somehow defeats Masha for this title, she will make history definitely, and it'd be a biggest win of her career. If not so, she could challenge for the NXT Women's Championship. And who knows, Cora Jade could be the one to defeat Stephanie Vaquer in winning that championship. You know, Cora's not aligned with Roxanne no more. Giulia's out reportedly with an injury. Maybe this is Cora Jade's time to shine after Stephanie Vaquer has to run with the NXT Women's Championship. Maybe it's her time, because that does open a spot for more women to step up now that Giulia is out. Because someone has to take the belt off Stephanie, or Stephanie has a long run. Now, Stephanie could have a long run too. We could see her having a super long run before Giulia comes back, but we'll see. One more person I have in mind for challenging for the NXT Women's Championship, Jordynne Grace. Now, Jordynne Grace is a former TNA Knockout World Champion. And she's also been on, and she challenged for the NXT Women's Championship before. You guys remember she did challenge for the championship last year while she was the TNA Knockout Championship at NXT Battleground, where she challenged Roxanne, and she came very close to defeating her, but close is not good enough. Roxanne hit her with the pop rocks. That was it. But maybe this time, Jordynne Grace, fast forward, is now an NXT superstar, and maybe she could be the one to defeat Stephanie Vaquer for that championship. You never know. You never know. Jordynne has what it takes. She has the size, the strength, the power. Maybe she can overpower Stephanie to win that title, because she's a very good contender for that belt. That's how I see it. And then also with Stephanie, she's definitely making history. She's done a lot in her short career thus far. We know that she is now a one-time CMLL Women's Champion, one-time CMLL Women's Tag Team Champion, New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Champion, NXT Women's North American Championship, and now the NXT Women's Champion. And she did this all in 2 years and beat Giulia twice for the championship. So she's doing a lot. She's been doing a lot lately in her run. Stephanie has accomplished a lot. I don't think any other woman has accomplished these accolades except Stephanie. Now, we know they talking about her defeating Giulia, which will say Stephanie could be champion until Giulia comes back, depending on how long injury takes, if she's going to get surgery or she's rehabbing it. Because in March 2024 last year, she defeated Giulia to become the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Champion. And that's the belt that Mercedes Moné is holding now. I spoke about that before. And then this year, a year later, Stephanie defeated Giulia to become an NXT Women's Champion. And now I call it two belt Steph, that's my name for her. But I think she has what it takes, though, she's going to be running the NXT Women's Division. So she's a target now. She just has not one, but two belts on her. So she literally is a target now. No doubt about it. But what do you guys think of these challenges for these championships? Are these great challenges for the titles when it comes down to it? Will one of these four women get one of these belts off of Stephanie Vaquer which is the NXT Women's North American Champion and the NXT Women's Champion. So you guys let me know what you think. That's all I have for that. We got NXT Roadblock 2025. Stephanie Vaquer makes history. Congratulations to her being the double champion. Check out the content here, guys. Click the links. Until then, guys, you already know what it is. It's O-U-T.
Something happened this weekend, and I've been struggling with it since I retired. But this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and